Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shining Light, where I shine light on true crime and things that go deep down the rabbit hole. And today, I'm doing a story on classic and sincere Pettis, aka Orrin and Orson West. Vanished. The story of Orrin and Orson West. It was a chilling day on December 21st, 2020, when two California city boys vanished without a trace while playing in their backyard with chalk. Orrin West was 4 years old at the time and had a fractured leg, and Orson West was 3 at the time. Both were adopted by Trezell and Jacqueline West, who started out fostering Orrin and Orson West, whose real names are Classic and Sincere Pettis, in 2018. And they officially completed the adoption process in 2019. On December 21st, 2020, the Wests were getting ready for Christmas. Trezell was chopping firewood that day while Jacqueline was inside wrapping presents. Trezell stated that he went inside for just a few minutes, and when he came back outside, both Orrin and Orson West were gone. Trezell claimed that he went looking for Orrin and Orson and felt that he needed help because it started getting dark and it was cold outside. Trezell left the back gate open and thought maybe the boys went out there. Both of the boys are about 3 feet tall and weigh around 40 pounds. They were last seen wearing black sweaters and dark colored sweatpants. Trezell and Jacqueline West also have 4 other children, 2 of whom are adopted and 2 that are biological. They were also taken into protected custody after the boys' disappearance. Trezell stated that he got in the van and went down the street to look in both directions. It was getting dark and cold. He also claimed that he drove around the neighborhood looking for the boys until the sun began to set. At that point, that's when he realized let me rewind that. At that point, that's when him and Jacqueline realized that it was time to call the police and report the boys missing. When the police arrived on the scene, they brought the canines and they caught the boys scent inside the house but not outside. Searchers of the home and the West vehicle yielded nothing of note. The police claimed they looked everywhere possible in the house that they could possibly look. They brought in the search dogs, the cadaver dogs, and any dog you can think of. They all been in that house and not picked up any kids anywhere in the house. They also did a canvass of the neighborhood, which turned up very oddly. No neighbor could ever recall seeing the boys outside the West home. After repeated searches of the property, they even dug up the backyard. On December 29th, foul play cannot be ruled out for the boys' disappearance. So far, there is no interest or suspects in this case. The adopted parents took a lie detector test, but he couldn't say whether or not they passed. or even ended up taking it. They said that the West have been cooperative, and they relocated back to Bakersfield, which is where Orrin and Orson West's biological mother, lives. And she also helped assist in the search. And due to the adopted family living in Bakersfield prior to moving to California, as well as Bakersfield being the biological family's residence, they are assisting with conducting follow-up interviews and pursuing tips and other investigative avenues. Sergeant Robert Pears stated in a news report that they have conducted numerous interviews, search warrants, and explored other investigative routes to assist California City Police with the ongoing search for the boys. There are no named persons of interest in this case, and sorry guys, I'm trying to read my writing. I scribbled over it because I messed up. California City and Bakersfield Police, along with FBI, are still actively investigating, although it seems that this case has gone cold. You hardly hear anyone speaking of these boys. You don't. We all know that someone out there knows something, and they know where the boys are and what's happened to these boys. If anybody has any information, has any sightings or anything, you are asked to call California City Police at 760-373-8606. Now, this case seems rather fishy to me too. Seeing how California is one of the most known for trafficking. And they lived in the most highest trafficking parts of California. Orrin and Orson's biological mother's name is Ryan Dean, and she was the one that gave the boys their birth names, Sincere and Classic, and their last names were Pettis. She claimed to have been living fine with them before CPS came and got them over a small incident. CPS took Orrin and Orson in the beginning of 2018. Ryan Dean was a single mother. She was at work and she noticed that her baby's cry wasn't normal when she got home. She took him to the hospital. They then told her that Orrin's femur bone was broken and twisted. He had a broken thigh bone. And Ryan Dean said she did not know how it happened. The last time she saw her boys was at the end of 2018. And Miss Dean has a good background. She doesn't have a police record and never been in jail. They claim that Orrin and Orson was in the backyard drawing on the concrete slab. But as we all known and seen, there was no evidence of the boys being outside playing with chalk. There was nothing drawn on them or anything. And Trezell even said that they weren't allowed to play in the dirt because they didn't want them getting dirty. Now, you tell me, how is it possible for Orrin, who has a broken leg, which it should have healed by then. Why? How did it get re-broken? Does anybody know? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I sense abuse. I sense cover-up. I sense trafficking. Because they were always and forever fostering kids. And I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason why I felt these boys were reported missing was because the bio mom was coming to drop off Christmas presents. And they knew if she would have showed up there and the boys weren't there, she would have started questioning and she would have called somebody. During their whole time, the one little interview that they did, they were swaying back and forth, talking and nodding a no at the head, and Trezell standing there with his hands all hidden. What are you hiding your hands for, Trezell? What? And there is a police officer who is on this case that I sense is very, very, very corrupt. Because if I heard correctly, I heard that he worked through CPS and he was the one telling CPS who can see and who can't see the kids, and they had to answer to him before talking to anybody else. Like, since when did police officers tell CPS what to do? And if I'm not mistaken, he was the same one that took the boys from their mother. Every year, no, I'm not even going to say every year, a lot of kids that go through adoptions or fostering programs and adoption agencies are 9 times out of 10 adopted out to trafficking. When they claim that most of these kids come up missing or they run away, it's usually because they've been sold into a trafficking ring. It's not because they actually ran off. That's what they want the people to think. I've actually done research on that. And like I said, I feel like this police officer is one of the leaders. I also feel that Jamar, or whatever his name is, he's involved in this, because if you listen to what he says, he works in Washington, D.C. He's one of the ones that runs the NAACP. And he works in the White House and all that. So he's got pull. He's got plenty of pool. And Miss Dean said she, after when she would get supervised visits with the boys were always malnourished, had bruises. They looked like, they hadn't been fed. They hadn't had haircuts. I mean, they just looked bad to her. And she said she knows her babies and she knows when something's wrong. And then these babies just up and disappear. Why? I've seen a lot of people who adopt or foster, and then when they have kids of their own, they'll start treating those the foster or the adopted kids like crap because they're not their biological kids. They'll keep them because they, the money's good, but they didn't use it for these children. Them boys only had one gift together under the tree. So why were you in the house only wrapping one gift while these boys was outside? Why? I don't believe you. You only did one interview. You ain't out here helping find these boys. You ain't even been worried about them. And when people do that, that tells me that you know exactly what the hell happened to these babies. And you got some explaining to do. You need to come forward. You need to tell people exactly what happened. Their mother deserves answers. Their mother deserves closure. If these boys aren't living, then come out with it. If you sold them off, then come out with it. Because by law, you weren't even supposed to be a foster parent, and you wasn't even supposed to be allowed to adopt them because you didn't have the money and the means to take care of them anyway. So why? And when you go down, I pray and hope to God that CPS goes down as well. There was another case not too far from there, Gabriel Fernandez. This also reminds me a lot about this case. And it was in California. So it should tell you how crooked and dirty their CPS system is. They need to be looked at sideways. Because so many kids are being failed by the CPS. Y'all was quick to take this lady's kids away over an accident that happened while she was at work trying to take care of her kids that she knew nothing about. But she took him to the ER. I could see she didn't take him to the ER and stayed at home and tried to cover it up. I could see then. But she wasn't. She was doing what any normal parent would do. These boys were targeted and they were picked. You did this on purpose. You took them away from their mother, the only person who loved them besides God and their family, their biological family. And we haven't seen you do any more interviews. We hadn't heard anything else about these babies. This case has gone cold. Nobody's even looking for them anymore. And it's really messed up. You know what you did. So come out with it. These boys have been missing for 8 months now. 8 months. And still, like I said, you hadn't even been on any TVs trying to plead for them for their return. Why? Why is that? Because you know there is no return? Because you know exactly what happened to them? They demand justice. They demand peace. They demand respect. You had no problem taking their money. You had no problem taking their money and using it for your own selfish gain and needs to take care of your own family, and then you wouldn't take care of these babies with their own damn money. You wouldn't even use it on them, but you used it on your kids and you and your wife. You made sure y'all looked good. Y'all's haircuts were up to date. Y'all had food in y'all's bellies and didn't go without nothing. What about them boys? I sat back and I watched other people cover this case, and I've been, I expressed my opinions and my feelings and all that to the people that are covering this case. But now I'm going to talk. I'm going to use my voice to speak. There is a petition to get that police officer off this case so this case can move forward and something can be done and these boys can be found. I will start by asking that police officer too. Because these boys were highly abused. And that little stick that he walks with, that's a sword. Tell me this. Why did y'all burn? Why was y'all having burning stuff in the backyard? Why were you even getting firewood? Because I know it ain't that cold in California. It ain't as cold there as it is here in the wintertime. It stays in the 60s there, I would assume. What were you trying to burn? Why were you trying to do stuff with your fireplace? Why did you have a burning session in the back of your grandmother or your back of your mom's yard? Where were you burning? Evidence? Maybe that seat that goes inside that van because it has evidence, DNA, perhaps? You will get caught up with. You and your wife. Y'all both are in this. Y'all both abused these boys. Allegedly. Let me throw this disclaimer out here. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything in this video is based on my opinion and thoughts. This video is made with the intent to teach and lecture and bring awareness. Any person or persons named in this video is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Can you please allow their mother to know where they are so they can be brought home? Because I'm going to tell you something, Trezelle and Jacqueline. They like people like y'all in the prison. Y'all will fit right on in. And everything done to these boys will be done to you tenfold. And I pray your brother goes down too. Because he's not innocent while he's over there hiding his hands. Throwing stones and hiding his hands. Out here threatening people who are out here trying to get these babies justice. Y'all ain't doing shit. Not one damn thing. So keep harassing people. And you're going to have that added on to it. Just like you know people, I know people too. Please, y'all, do not stop getting these boys out there. Let's keep getting their case out there. Let's keep getting it heard. And I need to get the link to that petition so everybody can sign it to get these certain people off of this case so this case can move forward. Officer Hernandez is the name. If y'all go watch Steve A.V. Watchman, he has a video exposing this police officer. Y'all go check it out. Tell him that I sent y'all over there. But please, let's keep this case too out in the open. Let's keep everybody aware of this case. Let's keep these babies' faces out in the open. Please. That's all I ask. If y'all have any information on these babies, please. Call the number that I gave y'all. Let's get these people arrested. Let's get these babies justice and bring them home. Look how handsome they are. This is another sad case. Please, let's keep their faces out there. Let's manifest for their retrieval. Let's manifest for them to be found. Let's light white candles for all these babies missing. Let's write their name on it. Write their names on a piece of paper and say you want that these babies will be found. Fold it up, put it underneath the white candle as the white candle burns. Let's do this, people. Peace, love, light, and blessings. Please keep these babies safe. Lord, I ask that you please shield and shine your bright light, your bright white light, so these babies can be found. I ask that any corruption, anyone that brings any negativity or evil energy or spirit onto this case, I ask that it be removed. Any spiritual blockages, I ask for them to be removed so that these babies can be found, Lord. I ask that you please heavy the heart and heavy the tongue of those involved so that they make them uncomfortable to the point to where they come forward and tell what happened to these babies. Lord, I ask that you please take everyone involved down. Please spare nobody no mercy. No weapons formed against these babies shall prosper. I pray that their mother finds the peace and the answers that she's seeking and searching for. I ask that she finds justice along with these baby boys. I ask that you put your arms around her, Lord, in this time of need. I ask that you keep her safe and coddle her into your bosom, Lord. I ask that you please keep everyone safe that's actually trying to help with this case. I ask that you please protect them and shield them with your white light, Lord. I ask that you please send my spirit guides, my guardian angels, and all of the archangels to them, Lord, to bring them home. These babies need to be found. They need peace. They need closure in their life, along with their biological family, Lord. I ask that you keep everyone that's watching this and helping along the case as well protected and out of harm's way. No weapons formed against us shall prosper, Lord. I know that you will plead your blood all over us and you will keep us safe and shield us with your white light so that any of these trolls, these haters, or any of these spectators that come along trying to diverse the case and take the attention away, I ask that you shame them, Lord. I ask that the devil get behind thee and flee, Lord. I please pray that you let these ones that come on this channel spreading hate and negativity know that I am not the one, Lord. There are some out there that just do this for the wrong intentions, Lord. I ask that you shame them too. Put them to shame. And please keep the ones that are trying to help protected. In your name I pray. Amen, Lord. Y'all have a great day. Peace, love, light, blessings.